What's up guys, it's your boy, and that is indeed correct. I am a floating object on the top of the water, alerting ships and warning them of possible dangers. And if nautical humour is your bag, then you're going to be sorely mistaken, because that was the only nautical based humour based on, you know, current things where people say, what up, it's your boy, and I try to pretend to be hip and trendy for about a microsecond. It worked, didn't it? Probably didn't. And the general scheme or minutiae of this video is all about one specific champion. Is it going to be a joke to link into this? No, we're going to keep it clean cut and get straight into the champion's information. And it's all about Medusa. Love this champion. This beautiful fiery redhead has had a special place in my roster ever since I pulled her from the 5-star crystal opening, that glorious opening, and getting that 5-star cosmic awakening gem and putting it on her. I could not be happier with this champion adding to my roster. And we're going to explore so many fantastic things about this champion. There will be a second part to this, and a link is in the description to effective synergies with this champion. It is well worth a watch. So if you like armor breaks, shattered armor, you want crits, you want bleeds, you want poison immunity, man, you have got a fantastic champion in shape and form of Medusa, and no wonder she is one of the more popular champions to get within the game. First things first, check out these lovely stats. Ooh, they are particularly tasty. They're not really just standard stats. A lot of different champions have others that you can compare off against, but you can see things to notice. High crit damage, fair to really good crit rating, and then we've got a fantastic block proficiency. And the stats are quite comparable when it comes to the 4-star version, which I have here and maxed out. The only kind of real difference is the armor. When we see the 5-star version, there's a lot more armor on board. When it comes to Medusa's abilities, there is no nonsense, and that is great. You know, a lot of random people will go, no, I don't want to see any nonsense from any of these champions, and they go, yeah, well, Medusa, right? She is completely on the level, and I can completely understand. She ain't taking liberties. And that's true. Medusa does not take any liberties. She does deal out and dish a hell of a lot of damage, which we're going to discuss and see footage of as we progress through the video. The main thing to say is armor breaks are key, especially when you want to develop your shattered armor, which is of 6 armor breaks on that it then converts into shattered armor. And shattered armor is going to take a lot of armor rating from the enemy. And as you can see, it's 2,505 for 26 seconds. And the method in which you apply it can be different for different circumstances and different people. Your own preference and how you apply it is up to you. Some may opt to go to the SP3 and apply the 36-second version of that shattered armor because it lasts a little bit longer and they can apply more damage. When you have shattered armor on and you hit through with certain crits on the light side of things, with light attacks, it does mean you're going to put a bleed effect on the enemy. Oh, but it doesn't stop there. There's so many things to talk about that is just going to expose this champion as such a damage dealer. The great thing about it is hitting the shattered armor allows her to work against those robot villains, all those pesky ones, and also extends to adaptoids who are classed within that robot-esque classification. Is a very old classification to explain, but they are within it. They are part of it. Basically means that shattered armor stops things like armor as well as power gain, and also reduces by 100% the ability accuracy of that pesky robot you're facing off against. One question you may be asking me is, Rich, is an unawakened version of Medusa any good? And if you're new to the game or have just picked up one, then the answer is yes, she's really good unawakened. She's not brilliant because it does mean that there's going to be some elements of fury she won't be able to tap into to kind of increase that damage dealing, but at the same time it's really handy with other abilities that we've just discussed and will continue discussing to be beneficial for any kind of grinding in the game. Now, we briefly touched on the SP3. Well, there's a couple of other special attacks that need to be talked about. The SP1 is your really decent builder of armor breaks, applying 4 at one given time. If you've got 2 active, you've just done 2 medium attacks, then you put in the L1 and you've boosted up to your shattered armor at 6. Then you've got your SP2, which puts in a 10 combo and can be really helpful for bleed effects. If you've got shattered armor on, then you're going to be able to put on 60% chance to get a bleed effect from them. You know, you can stack them. I've seen some huge stacks of bleed, which is really cool. So work on that combination with shattered armor and applying an L2 for the bleeds. If you don't have Shattered Armor up, then you will stun the enemy for about 3 seconds. In that time, you can do anything. You can build up to another Shattered Armor to be placed in. You can look to do anything with changing your style. There's lots of stuff that can be done in that time frame, but it's kind of good to have that extra bit of stun if, for whatever reason, Shattered Armor is inactive. And Shattered Armor is a pretty important thing to have on an enemy, especially when you're attacking. Granted, things may not turn out the way you want. You may not be able to put in loads of armor breaks. It may be a case that by putting Shattered Armor and bleed damage in, well, they could be bleed immune, so that would be incredibly unhelpful. Certain champions that shrug off certain effects, like Agent Venom and also like King Groot with the Furies, are going to be a little bit frustrating, as well as maybe champions that are debuff effect immune. It has happened from times. So do look out for who you're facing off against as to the worth of the champion, but 9 times out of 10, Medusa is going to be a great fit for you. And the plus side is poison immunity. That's a great thing to have. The final thing to talk about, and one of the most crucial things, and the big thing that says to all alliance leaders, I'm going to place this as a boss, you're going to get frustrated, is Medusa. And living strands seems to be a fantastic thing. Now, in an attacking sense, it's great because you end up putting in a parry. The percentage as the signature ability goes up increases. So at the moment it is very small, a small percentage, but it does increase. My 4-star version has about 60% to it with a 60 signature level, and that does vary and go up. So it does mean that you're going to have fun with this champion. You're not going to have fun facing off against her, but you will have fun because you could get you out of a lot of sticky situations by activating a parry, as well as that triggering that auto block effect. Also, a great thing and secondary thing to the signature ability is having these Furies put in. Once they're in, you are going to feel that your champion is outputting so much damage, and it's going to really be quite exciting. I've done some test stuff with Synergies, and we'll talk about Synergies in a moment, where I've been outputting about 4,000 to 8,000 per hit for crits when doing like a spamming in an L2. It was just so fun to see that, just a huge amount of damage. Now here's when things get really tasty, and it is the Synergies. The Inhuman Royal Family Synergy is fantastic. The one with Black Bolt is great. The increased amount of Furies, oh, damage output, tasty as hell. Then you have got Karnak, and Karnak allows Medusa to do a heavy attack and apply a permanent armor break, which again is absolutely fantastic and really improves the champion. A lot of people will opt for that synergy group with those 3, and I've played about with some others, but those 2 champions, having Black Bolt and Karnak, just make the experience so much more entertaining and fun with damage dealing. So that has been a video all about Medusa. If you enjoyed the video, then make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more Marvel Contest of Champions based content. The other thing is, what's your thoughts on Medusa? Do you really want to get as a champion, and are you not too certain? Are you kind of like, well, I would prefer other champions that have been newly added. Either way, I mean, I personally love this champion. So refreshing to have it added to my roster and kind of give it that vibrancy that my roster had been lacking of late. In any case, thanks again for watching. I've been RichTheMan, and I shall catch you on the flip side. Bye-bye for now.